I'm not doing well this morning. Something's really wrong. Very, very wrong. And if I lose my apartment, I don't have a place to live, and I get a morning like this, I'm gonna die, be arrested, or be on the endless hospital run, where they bring me to the emergency room, can't find out what's wrong with me, release me. Then I'm still like this, where I'm puking, I can't walk. I was puking in the trash can in front of me. Two of them, actually. I have a heater on my knees, blowing, but I grabbed the trash can and tried to go to the bathroom, and it smelled, continued puking, and I fell to the ground. It's too cold. I'm shaking. My heart is struggling to pump. It hurts. Only because of the cold in my room. And it's morning. There's no drugs involved for years and years, and this happened to me during childhood too. This is what happens when you have a mother that lies to everybody, father that doesn't give a fuck. You have a physical disability, and everybody wants to drug the shit out of you with mental drugs to treat a neurological disorder in your nervous system. What obviously doesn't work, so they keep on adding more and more drugs, making the disability worse. And as they move you from state to state to state to state to state, nobody can ever help you, no matter how much the orphan asks for help, because the mother lies and moves and lies and moves. And now, I get to die before I'm 40. Even though I don't have to. If I just had an apartment and was allowed to continue where I left off, I'd be fine. But see, that's not the setup my father gave me. My father fucked me up with my mother at age 10. He fucked me up by sitting there as his wife allowed pills to be shoved down my throat. Here, take these pills. Take these pills. Take these pills. And then what happens if I disobey mom, dad? What happens if I disobey any of my mom's orders, her direct orders? What happens if I disobey my mother's direct order to take a full bottle of Epicac, to take a handful of pills that make me sick, to take an extra pill I'm not prescribed on Halloween that makes me sick? And then at the doctor's office, when I'm asking for help, not getting it because my mother's speaking up. What would happen if my mother told me I'm not allowed to speak about this allergy attack? I have to take my meds, and moves me to another state every 1 to 2 years. Every 2 years, we'll say. And these are states not side by side. This is Mass, El Paso, Texas, New Mexico, then to Maine, then to Mass. These are not states that are side by side and work together. And these are not doctors that are getting properly informed when my mother goes to a new state. Instead, my mother just makes up new stories to try to get me drugged and ignores all the doctor's advice that could actually help me. Meanwhile, my father just is in La La Land planning his next vacation, or trying to figure out how he's going to make more money to get this great retirement he wants, as he tells his family, I'm working so hard, I'm doing it for my family so I can give them a good future. Yes, I did this for my family. Yes, I worked all these hard weekends for my family. And I always respected him for that. I said, oh, look at this man working very hard to give his sons and daughters a good future. Look at this man doing this. And then at the age of 10, I'm getting sicker and sicker. And I'm seeing less and less of my father. He's still working super hard, telling me he's doing it for me. And he's doing it. And then he takes my Social Security. Well, it's fine. I don't even know this is going on, so how could I give a fuck? But at this time, I'm being made fun of by other orphan kids in an program with kids with no parents. And every single month for 4 years straight, every kid in this program but me got to go clothing shopping. Meanwhile, I sat at home month after month after month. Now, I asked my father to give me clothing money, and he chose not to. Now, my father says he is not capable of going clothing shopping and picking out a 16-year-old boy clothing. He says he doesn't want to spend a lot of money on clothing. He says he doesn't want to deal with me. Well, he had a perfect opportunity to let a program oversee me as I did my own clothing shopping. So I learned the skills of picking out my own clothing and going shopping. And they would bring me to 3 different stores that are actually for kids my age. But my father told the program no, he would handle my money and make sure I had enough clothing, that I wasn't called the raggedy kid at school and at the program. But yes, from the age of 12 years old all the way up to age 20, I was always called the raggedy kid wearing short shorts or clothing that doesn't fit. I was either wearing extra, extra large clothing that I traded for, or extra, extra small clothing that my father told me to hold on to. These shorts are still good. What are you talking about? And I am still fine like that because he turned me into him. I am just as cheap and as stubborn with my money as my father. My clothing budget every year now is less than $50 a year, and I still end up with at least 30 items of clothing a year. I got a brand new, great package, 10 pairs of socks for $2 of the best Nike brand. Brand new, tag still sealed. How did I do it? How did I get 10 pairs of Nike socks for that price? Because I go to 3 different stores called Second Chance that get donations, and people donate new packaging. Like when they buy brand new socks for their husband and they stay in the drawer for the next Christmas, and they want to buy another pair of socks for their husband for Christmas, but he hasn't opened the pair from the year before, that gets donated. Oh God, I'm gonna puke again. So anyways, the point of this is, when I lose my apartment, there is no chance of me surviving. If I barely can make it in the mornings in an apartment in July and August, and it's still too cold and I'm still too sick to walk, talk, or do anything in the mornings, and if my heart is pounding out of control because I need a Zofran and medicine, and if I'm twitching and falling all over the place, it's very obvious what's going to happen. I'm going to be ended up on the endless hospital run again. And what's even worse is, thanks to my mother and father trying to hide this, the hospital is going to improperly report my injuries. They're going to say, he was unconscious. We found him. He has a heartbeat. I'm going to send him back out. 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 I'll have emergency room. And what's even worse is the emergency rooms try to call my father to let him know fall, seizure, robbery, suicide, fall, seizure, robbery, suicide, frozen to death, He died and we had to bring him back to life. He was in a coma. He froze to death, brought him back to life. Froze to death. Oh, have to amputate his toes. Have to amputate his toes. Have to amputate his toes if he doesn't stay off his feet. No, now he's suicidal, so he stayed off his toes in a mental hospital. Oh, now he's dying again. Oh, we found him unconscious, dead. Okay. Oh, now he's found unconscious. We don't know what's going on. Head injuries. Well, he says it's seizure, but we don't know. The doctor says it's seizure on one of them, but there's gabapentin involved, so we have no idea. So we just release him. So release. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, seizure. See that That's how the seizures happen. I get one of those, and it doesn't stop. That time it stopped. Oh, God, man. It's the cold in here. It's the cold in here. Okay, blast the heater on me again. Guess it's time for round 5 with the heater. So yeah, now, if you're wondering what the reports at the hospital are, found unconscious, possible drugs, suicidal thoughts, suicidal, acting crazy, whatever. But they're also having me live in the woods for 4 years with a physical disability that's actually affected by any temperatures below cold flashing lights. Gang members trying to rob me, all after losing my mother, who just abused me for 15 years with drugs and lied to doctors, lied to me, and brainwashed me as well. So I'm still trying to unravel all the fucking shit my mother did to me. Meanwhile, my father just tries to forget it all and runs off on vacation, not giving a fuck that I'm gonna die before the age of 40 because of his wife, what she did to me. And I've been dealing with this since age 7. I've been trying to get help since we were in Westford, but every time I try to get help and bring this up at the doctor's office, my mother calls it some mysterious allergy attack. Oh, it's just a mysterious allergy attack. Oh yeah, prove it to me. Prove a doctor at age 4 told you that I went blind from an allergy attack. Tell me that that is on paper someplace, because if not, then Mom is full of fucking shit. When we went to the doctors at age 7, when I mentioned this fucking overdose, when she said she doesn't remember what medicines I was on, it's not important, and that all that shit, all this fucking bullshit that came out of my mother's mouth. Oh, it doesn't matter anymore. I should just curl up in the woods someplace and find a good tree to die under, because my family wants their secret kept, and they don't want to fucking help their little brother or their no. Instead, they want to go to the father and tell him to help me for fucking 25 years. Hey, control your wife. Control your wife. What's happening to Zach? What's happening? Oh my God, stop hurting Zach. Oh yeah, don't stomp on him. Oh, what are you doing with all those pills? Stop your wife with all those pills. What is Zach doing at the doctor's? Why is Zach sick all the time? What happened to Zach in New Mexico? What happened to Zach while you guys were gone? Why does Zach seem different now that you're back? Is he slow? Is he retarded? No, he's not retarded. Yes, he is. No, he isn't. No, Zach's stupid. No, he isn't. Yeah, he's brilliant. No, he's stupid. All that shit is a problem, Dad. You cannot call me names, fucking drug the shit out of me, do crazy things to me, and then twist it around and act like it never fucking happened. I heard teachers come up to me about my crazy mother's behavior. And if that's true, then why, Dad, did your son and grandson come up to me at your wife's funeral and say things to the regard of, I should be happy that my adopted mother is gone? Why should I be happy that my adopted mother is gone, Dad? Why did people come up to me at the funeral wondering why I'm crying for my mother? Why would people have that wonder? Why would people be wondering why I'm actually sad? And how about this, Dad? Why did Mom admit that she thought it was okay to give extra medications to a child that they're not prescribed right in front of your daughter? And why, right in front of your grandson, did she drag me into another room and beat me with a ruler in the face for no reason? Why did I get so sick from following you guys' exact orders? You guys said I had to jump when you guys said jump. You guys said jump off this bridge into a pile of meds. I jumped off the bridge into a pile of meds at age 7, and I took them as you told me. You said, take all these meds, take all these meds, take all these meds. You are the one who told me that, Dad. You backed Mom up. You sat by Mom as Mom told me and brainwashed me into thinking I would need drugs for the rest of my life. And you sat there nodding your head in agreement. And then when I was at the doctor's complaining about side effects, and the doctors were upping meds, and I got sicker, nobody reported any side effects. When I was puking, when I was hungover, when I had a headache, when my heart was palpitating, no matter how much I reported these things to the programs, to mom, to the doctors, nothing was done. At age 7, I reported losing my vision completely, passing out, not losing the ability to do any part of my nervous system. Woke up changed for life. And nobody even looked into it. And I brought it up over and over and over. And every time I tried to get help for my real disability, you guys decide it's more important to move me around and drug the shit out of me. I try to get help with my physical disability, and then I'm moved someplace else and drugged. And then I'm moved someplace else and drugged before I can even get a breath of air. 25 years, Dad, I haven't had a breath of air. Give me just 1 year where I get to focus on my health, where I have a mailing at... No, fuck that, Zach. No, just go die. And by the time I get that year, it'll be fucked up. It will be too late. Everything will be restarted. Everything will be restarted, and then I'll need to fucking do this for 10 years, stay in the same mailing address for 10 years, go to the doctors, and then on the 6th year, I'll get thrown out again for being disabled and have to restart again. And then I'll be 38, dying in the woods. And then I'll probably die for good. Or maybe I die for good on this run. Maybe I get thrown out and die on this run. I have no fucking idea. But I do tell you, I've almost died in my own apartment in mourning just from puking with heart palpitations and seizures. I've had several seizures just from waking up sober. Now, I used to have cures for this, like taking Ativan, drink, but I always had to hustle up money because if I ran out, I would be fucked. I don't do that. Not for 7 years. I haven't taken an Ativan or tried to treat myself in 7 fucking years. The last time I did anything like that was 3 years ago, and all I did was go to a cookout and have a beer. That's the closest thing. And that was 3 years ago. I don't do shit. I had a relapse in the last 8 years with some opiates when I needed oral surgery, had 3 infections in my mouth, and those 3 infections spread to my lungs, sinuses, and throat. I just needed $4,000 up. Nobody would give me surgery unless I come up with $4,000. And once again, I still have a prior problem to fix. I can't move on with my life while I'm making $0 for life. So I have to go back and fix that before I can move on with my life. My father wants to keep my life hostage and keep his little fucking dirty secret a secret and kill me. And this is why when I get pushed off the grid, I think I'm going to lose it. I think people are going to get hurt. I know I'm going to get hurt and killed. I know they're killing me. I know they've already taken pieces of my body I'll never get back just in the last 3 years. My father has taken pieces of my organs and body that I'll never get to use or have again. That didn't have to be this way if my father just told the truth at the doctors. That's it. I don't have to be this hurt. And still today, if he walks in and we tell the truth at the doctors, then I don't have to lose any more parts of my body. But as long as my father wants to keep on traveling around, I'm going to go to Florida and Maine and buy new houses. That way Massachusetts doesn't come after me. No. And I don't have to worry about shit. Yeah, Zach won't care. I'll just throw him in the woods. He'll be happy living in a tree. That's my father's solution. Run away and say it's all my fault. Hey, you're a liar. You're a thief. It's a fantasy. I got paperwork that says you're mentally ill. Yeah, I paid good doctors to call you mentally ill. And that's what he's going to do. Constantly. No matter how sick I get. I mean, hundreds of thousands of people in over 25 years. Teachers, doctors, friends of the family, friends, workers, jobs, my people who live with me, staff members, even my own parents constantly were seeing my neurological disorder. Me fall to the ground, trip, get scabbed up, have speech problems, have problems moving my body. Doctors were telling my father there was coordination issues. He's having problems moving his body. It was very clear this is happening constantly. But did anybody think to maybe bring me to a neurologist or even look into the initial cause of this? I mean, you have a son who's talked about something very scary sounding since age 7 at the doctor's, and never once has anybody discussed this medication allergy attack that still continues to hurt me to this day. And allergies don't fucking hit you and last every day for 25 years. They don't hit you at age 7, cause you your breathing to slow down, you pass out, you go blind, you can't stand up, you can't feel your body, feels like an overdose, you pass the fuck out, and you wake up not being able to use your nervous system right for the rest of your life. My mother called that an allergy attack and has not, still to this day, ever done anything to try to get me help with that. And I've mentioned it in front of my father and mother for 25 years now. Let me see. At age 7, I must have mentioned it in front of the doctor. From 7 to 9, probably at least 6 times. And each time my father was horrified, but did nothing. And each time my mother just said, "Oh, nothing to see here, nothing to see here. Move on, move on. Nope, I don't know. I don't know what meds, but it happened, but nope, nope." And the reason why my mother kept on admitting it happened, but then dodging everything, is because right in the beginning, the teachers knew something happened. I went to the doctors and said something happened. So my mother just called it an allergy attack. That's all. It's nothing to see here. Just an allergy attack. Nothing to see here. What meds does he have an allergy to? And then my mother would dodge the questions. So what the fuck was the allergy attack from, Dad? If it is an allergy, and you guys weren't just lying through your teeth to hide my permanent disability and kill me, if you guys weren't just trying to kill me, then you guys should have been looking at what allergy I had that caused such a severe reaction. If your son stops breathing, his nervous system, he goes blind, falls to the ground, and has all this bad, you might want to know what med he's allergic to, right? So you would want to look up the allergic med list, right? And you would want to make sure he doesn't take those meds on accident again, right? Nope. My father and mother skipped all that. My mother called it an allergy attack. She said she didn't remember the meds, but it's not important, and moved on with another question to the doctor. And then the next time she said it's not important, just said, yeah, it happened, but it's not important, dodged it again. Then by the time I spoke about it at the doctor's the 4th time, my mother was screaming at me, and then on the car ride back going, "Why are you talking about that?" Stuff like that. Because it's true, was my answer to my mother and father every time. Because it happened and I want help, is what I told them. It happened and I want help. It happened and I want help. That's it. But instead, I continued to get sicker and sicker all the way to age 25. And now I'm at age 31. I'm seeking help. But I'm having to restart now because they're pushing me out of my apartment. I can't collect Social Security because my father fucked it all up. I can't go to work because my whole body's all fucked up. I can't do anything. My mother and father basically locked up anything I would need to survive. If I wanted to go to work, fuck it. Nope. My father and mother made it so I can't work. My mother drugged me and made me so disabled that anytime I go to work, they will tell me to leave work and go to the doctors and get papers on my disability before returning. So my mother fucked that up good, and she wouldn't tell the doctors what she was doing, so I can't get that piece of paper, what means I can never work again. I go to work, they tell me to go to the doctors and get a piece of paper. I go to the doctors, they tell me to contact my family, Social Security, and spend 10 years working on it. So I contact my father to speed that up to 1 year. He tells me to fuck off, and then I'm stuck in limbo. So then I go to the shelter, and the shelter gives me the same deal. They let me stay there, but then they see my disability, send me to the emergency room, tell me to go to the doctors. I go to the doctors, and then the doctors tell me they either can wait around for 10 years watching me, or I can go to my father's Social Security and past people and have them come in with me and talk to them, and maybe this can be sped up. So I do that, and my father says, fuck off, die already, and I go back. Well, it looks like I'm not going to be able to do this the holy way. It looks like I'm not going to keep on asking nicely for 25 years that my father helps me with what his wife did. Looks like I'm just going to have to kill myself and end my own pain and teach everybody a fucking lesson of what happens. What happens? You can cripple me, you can burn me, you can try to teach me a lesson, you can break my legs, you can break my bones, you can rip my tongue out, you can cut off my arms. But you better believe I'm coming for you, and I'm taking your dick, your balls, your toes, your feet. I'm going to leave you as a one. You ever heard that song One by Metallica? The guy sitting in the hospital, no legs and arms, and wishes he was dead? That's gonna be you. That's gonna be you if one more fucking person comes over and gives me a disability because they can't control something. Oh, I'm angry, so I crippled you for life. Oh, I can't control my wife, so we pilled you and crippled you for life. Oh, well, we want you to live in the woods and you had a seizure, so now you're more crippled than life. Oh, well, we don't want you in the shelter because you're disabled, so we're going to have you crippled for life. Well, get out of this chair, and they pick you up, put your hands on you, all different other fucked up shit. So, yeah, that's what's about to happen. And this morning, yeah, I wouldn't have survived this morning without a heater, an apartment, place to puke and shit. I mean, I actually shat on the third time I was vomiting. I actually shit in the toilet at the same time.